I have go. Now I just gotta wait. Yes! Success! I had to tilt. I have to put it up so the phone doesn't tilt, so I had to tilt my art. But I am just working on a few really quick, simple sketches. I've already done my marker, so I'm just quickly brushing over them with paint. So these are for customers that pre-ordered on my shop, which you can do through critterosity.myshopify.com. Critterosity spelled the same way my Instagram or my YouTube account is, which is also the same as my Instagram. Funny enough. So if you have any interest in supporting my artwork, that's how you can do it. It's called The Simple Sketch. However, with The Simple Sketch, I add marker and painting. So there is a little of both. And she's asked for a purple unicorn, which I am using more pinks in the background to make sure that purple pops. I'm just doing a quick wash over it with my paint. This is just, it's already dry, it's already easy, so it's just adding a little bit to it so it looks a little bit more fancy than just marker. There are some people that are phenomenal at marker. I am still learning marker, so marker. If you guys are watching this live and have any questions, feel free to all right, so I've done this kind of soft peach color, and I'm going to move to my pink. Just kind of brushing that again really quickly. The marker's already done, which helps a lot. It kind of gets the boost of color underneath, so I don't have to spend hours layering and layering paints. For things like that, I pretty much right now I'm only doing the like full paintings for my patrons on higher levels. So if you ever want one of those, you kind of have to wait for them to leave the tier that they're on, which most of them will not. They have found it valuable to have. So yeah, I'm just kind of adding this little spruced highlight look to it. I can jump to some of my other paints that I have and using all different brushes to do this, but mostly texture brushes for this part. And also with my simple sketches, what I do is I outline in black at the end. When I do my paintings, I really sit there and use different colors to make the line work. But for these, they're simple. They're paying $30 to get these done, so I kind of make the quality of it to match what they're paying. And the markers I used are Concept dual tip markers from Jerry's Artorama. So if anyone is out there watching and wants to try the Concept dual tip markers, I suggest jerrysartorama.com. Good prices, affordable for the working artist. Whoops. Use some of this. I'm just kind of mixing a couple of my paints together to create. Still, I like that purple I used in that marker. So I'm trying to create a softer purple with mixing in a bright pink to it. So again, some people get these and go, I thought it was a sketch. And I'm like, oh, it is. It's just that I add a little bit of detail with the paint. Just so those that wanted a painting that can't get it, they're getting a really quick one. And I'm trying not to cover everything. Still trying to keep a lot of the details. But yeah, oh, hello. Someone's on here. Why are you so amazing? Why are you so amazing? Diamonds, diamonds are a girl's best friend. No, I am not amazing. I just love practicing. Sometimes, had you seen the 4 unicorns I did before this, you would not be saying that. So thank you. I love you. Sometimes I just can't get it right. I was explaining to the customer, they wanted a dancing unicorn. And I was like, as much as I would love to do that on the 3x3s, I'm not the kind of artist that can make that read correctly in such a small space to make it look like they're dancing. Then again, as artists, we go into 50 questions, which is dancing. Do you mean like listening to music dancing? Do you want a little headset on her so it looks like she's listening to her headphones? Do you want her doing ballet? Do you want her and then it's like, we overthink it. So Sometimes artists will say, let me be creative, and that's fine, but the ideas usually have to be very specific because I'm like, I don't know what you're hoping for. So this is me just kind of guessing with it all. It's Kelly, aka On the Money. Thank you for letting me know, because I didn't know. I don't know all your screen names, you guys. We have so many screen names, but I love them all. I love them all. I love the mall. The mall is so fun. Just kidding. Okay. I hope you're having a good day. I didn't realize it was Tuesday. I was talking to my friend and I was like, what? Tuesday's tomorrow? You're crazy. I've been time traveling while I've been home. Not realizing what day, time, year. No. It's a lot. So I just decided to kind of finish these ones up. These were probably my top ones I had the other day come in as commissions. They're just ones I really got excited about. Not that I don't love every commission that comes in, but when I'm drawing them, I start to feel a little bit more passionately about some more than others. So working on them live is nice to share and then keep, because I know the whole thing about my lives on Instagram, the only way to save them is to download them to my phone at the same time, and goodness gracious, I have no room on my phone to do that. So I'm just trying to throw some in here and there for my YouTube fan. Wants to watch it here. Because the YouTubes is still super popular. All right, and I'm going to take some of the pink. Let's see. How many a week are you getting in with these simple sketches? I wish I could give you a close to set number. Each week is so different. Like right now, as soon as I get done with this, then I do my live sip and paint and the giveaway announcement. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you haven't entered, this is your last chance to enter. But I can do about 3 a day easily if I'm just sitting and focused, but that's the problem, is every time I sit down, I'm like, oh, I need to go place an order for all the stuff everybody ordered. Oh, I need to go crop all those things. Oh, I need to work on Patreon. Oh, I need to make a coloring page. Oh, so I could probably do like 6 a day if I was just sitting and working on them. But the sketch to marker takes about an hour or a little longer. And then the painting is just a quick wash. And this is the part where I zone out because the colors are already chosen. The hard part is picking what colors to do when I start the painting. So that's usually what takes the longest. This is just that. Quick, quick, quick. But I love them because I can kind of draw a little quicker and not spend hours. And that's where the price break is. You spend $30, you get $30. But I always like to go a little farther. I like to take it a little farther than that. And I had so much fun with this unicorn's face. Once my amazing customer said, no, just do you. As long as it's a purple unicorn, go for it. And I was like, oh, thank you. The dancing part was throwing me off because I don't know how to show her body dancing. I am terrible at anatomy. I'm very bad at it, especially horses and cows and stuff. It's just their body shape. And I grew up with all these things. You would think that I would know how to draw them better, but I really don't. They're tricky. It's the same as like cars and trains and planes. It's so hard for me to do them. So I always tell people, here's my skill level. I can do it, but you might not like it. And then everyone's like, yeah, maybe don't do that. Okay, sounds good. Okay, thanks for trusting my judgment. I am looking for this gorgeous pink, not light magenta. Light magenta, FYI, if you buy it, light magenta turns out almost brown. I usually go with shell pink. I've been switching a lot of my paints up with Jerry's Artorama paints as they're sending me more like Turner gouache stuff, but I still have a ton of these, and these are my go-to because I have most of the colors. You do a lot more paint than I thought you would on these. Thank you so much. Yeah, I enjoy the paint washover. It just still feels like a painting without me doing all the extra work. Because doing a painting, I have to make sure everything's like precise, and that can take like hours. So for me, with Patreon being so busy and all that, it was easier to say, you know what, you'll still get something. It will still be good, but don't expect the craziest, greatest quality. And then I just outline in black, so they don't get it like super perfect. And to me, I'm one of those people, I like the sketches and stuff, so I'm like, that's fine. I think of new things all the time. I want to test out new ways of doing things. So for me, it's kind of more relaxing to know that it's being sent out looking a way I really genuinely like than just like rushing a really quick sketch and being like, I hope you like it. Then I get all nervous that they won't. So yeah, this is actually more fun for me to do a little bit of paint over it so I know I can leave it out and people will go, wow, that was more than what I thought I was going to get. And I'm like, yay, success. Thank you for all the questions. It's nice to talk to somebody on here. So now I'm going to let her dry. I'm going to move her to the side and I'm going to work on the next one. I want to order one, but I have so much I want, like probably from Onward. So what one customer did, because they feel the same way, and thank you for saying that, they feel the same way, is that they wrote a giant list of everything they want. And they're like, whatever you do on this list, when I send my next one, you can pick something from that list. It'll just be minus this and it'll be a surprise, but I'll get something I wanted, but I can't choose, so you choose. So they kind of let me choose what to do, even though it was their list. Same way I do with Patreon, only the Patreon lists are like 35 things and then they keep adding and they have no idea what they used to put on it. It's so funny. And they're like, oh, I sent you a new list. I'm like, yes, but I added to your old list. So I'm being rude and eating with my mouth open. I'm so sorry. I'm having a late breakfast. I do everything late. I've been really good about eating on time, but today I'm definitely getting a late start. This is why I don't like the angle thing when I'm painting, but when I'm live, it doesn't bother me. I'm going to use a mop brush on this one. I like these because it makes really good, like, clouds and stuff. So I already finished the Peter. I did him when I'm feeling like being creative, because there are times where I sit down and I'm just not feeling it, so I don't force it. I really wanted to work on him live, Hook. I like the way his sketch came out. I don't always love the way my sketches come out. This is going to be his feather, I forgot, but that's okay, I'll cover it. But the Peter Pan one was really simple, and I just decided, you know what, I'll work on Hook live, but I'm going to do the other ones by myself. To my list from Patreon. I'm so glad, thanks. And you got your last ones, right? With Boo and everything? Just making sure. Actually, that Boo I'm going to turn into a print at some point because I genuinely enjoyed the line work. Again, it's another one where I had fun with it. And I want to make some more of those. But like I said, an original is an original, so you have the original sketch. This would just be a digital sketch. Doing a little bit of clouds in the background. My acrylic paint is getting really low, so dipping my brush in it is getting more and more dangerous. It keeps going up to the part where I have to hold. No! That's the worst. Pet peeve. And will you be joining us for the Sip and Paint today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? Yes, no, yes, no. Yes, I'm obsessed. Oh, I'm so glad that you liked it. Thank you. I love your ideas because they're all things I love. When people pick things I don't know, I get very, not nervous, but I'm like, what if they don't like it? Because I don't watch it, or I don't know how to like make this more unique than just looking at a photo for reference. I like when I know the character because I can do something like really silly with them or whatever. Yep. Oh. Okay, so he's kind of got like this burgundy hat, but it's not burgundy like his little coat. It's got some purple in it. So I'm gonna mix some purple and some burgundy because I didn't have a marker color that was more like his hat color. So let me just mix these really quick. Yes, ma'am. Yay! I'm so glad. I'm so glad you'll be tuning in. So again, this is my only other one I was going to do live. I have to work on a couple things outside of this. One of my patrons is awesome too and said, take your time on my painting from last month. And I did, but now I'm ready. Today I'm ready to paint. But I have to get some orders ready to ship because the items just came in and they've been waiting patiently. So I got to work on some things before I do my sip and paint. Because yeah, once the post office is closed, like I'm done for the day. That's like what I base my time on is the 5 o'clock time. When they close at 5, my day is done because I only get that one shot to run down there. And it's now such an event to have to do because of all the stuff going around. Getting all masked and gloved up and everything to go out. Quite a fun adventure. Not really, but you know what I mean. What I love is it isn't just a picture. It's like they have their own personality. Yes, exactly. And that's what I like too. It's a lot of fun to do that. Now I'm just dragging this extra white acrylic into that color I just made to create some highlights really fast. And all my line work will cover up where I maybe like it's going out a little bit. Find a way to cover that up. Shmee, what about me? Smee. Okay, now my favorite part, okay, one of my many favorites. Do you use a brush cleaner to clean them? No, I should. I should use something. I use just water. So bad. And that's why I have to replace my brushes like every 3 to 6 months. But to be honest, I like new brushes. I like my old brushes. I still keep them for textures, but I do like when you first break in a new brush. So nice. So nice and purty. It's good to get a brush cleaner, but honestly, I'm just lazy, I guess. Lazy is the right word. Yeah, lazy. Sure. Let's go with that. I don't know. I'm like, at some point I have to replace my brush anyway. The other person that cracks me up is Mab Graves, MABGRAVES, if you don't already follow her. She's always like, I am so bad to my brushes. And she's someone I think would like be really good to her brushes. But she's even said on her Instagram that she's really bad with them. And so she like was selling all her brushes as is. I gotta get back to selling my paints when things kick back in to where people can give them homes for practicing, and I sell them like super cheap. Paints, brushes, etc. Just to kind of help out. And I'm kind of overdoing the blue, but then I'll hide it with black. Just trying to get some more highlights in here into his hair. Okay, I'm going to work on his face for a minute. So as you can see, it's just a quick wash of paint over it. I use water too, yeah. You can use Dawn soap is what we used when we face painted to get any germs out of the brushes and the sponges. So Dawn soap is pretty gentle on it. But like, I don't know, brush cleaner is out there. Okay. Sorry, again, late breakfast. Me. I'll buy them off of you. I know, and I'm so afraid to sell anything right now because I'm like, what if all the stores goes down and I can't get them? I believe Greg is going to see if Art Supply Warehouse is open for the curbside pickup because he needs more. He ran out of the Good Colors paint. He uses really high quality paint on his welding stuff. And he was like, yeah, I'm completely out. I didn't even realize. So he just waited a little bit, but then he's like, I think they're still doing curbside. So if they are, at least I know I do have some paints there, but I can always go through Jerry's Artorama to get some. It's just the shipping is taking people forever. Well, I say Greg does eBay, and people are like, it doesn't even say it's updated. It says you never took the package. And we're like, there is literally no tracking on things that I watched him drop off. I know for a fact he took them to the post office. So I've been doing a lot less ordering online because I just don't want to pay a bunch of money and then never get the product. I just totally did a glitch. And did never get the product. So yeah, I've been really kind of holding off on spending money online. Spending money in general, to be honest. I never thought of this kind of stuff before. Yeah, totally. But so far everything's been okay. And I hope he can get his stuff so he can finish, because he's already welded all the shelves. He just doesn't have the paint to paint them. Another thing that I absolutely love is adding the nose kind of blush, the cheek blush, any like highlights of pink. I don't know what it is, but I just find it so much fun to add those little bursts of color. I did glitch. It was so weird. I don't know if you heard me do it. It was so natural. I'm all, it was so not expected. I didn't know I was going to glitch. And we caught it live. All right, so for some of these characters, I have to go over a couple times, so that's when the paint gets a little bit more thick. I just never know how it's going to go. It takes painting it to know where it's going to lead. And then anything white, I usually use my acrylic white over it so that it makes it pop. So first I'm going to do the black for the hair, so that's out of the way and drying. Try to think of it in layers. I work from the back to the front, so his hook's going to be like pretty much the last thing. The white has to go over his hair, so I want to make sure I get his hair curls done. I'm just throwing the black. Anything that's like a large surface, I'll use the black paint more than the marker. I like to do all the finishing. So now I'm just using a round brush to kind of add little line hairs in there. Working my way down and up for the curls. So you start to see that texture. And I'm letting it have a little bit more water so it fades down and doesn't look like a big clump. Oop, there he goes. Back down you go. I'm going to tilt it a little bit. So just the highlights are kind of staying. All right, so that way we get those nice little lines to look like the bend. Sorry if you're writing anything. Both hands are at the ready. Okay. So now while that's drying, I'm going to start working on the feather. I'm going to see if you're anything. I see bluish green. Oh, my hair's in the way. I know, because the camera's on this side. I feel so sorry. I'm sorry. And it stinks because the live thing, if my phone tilts just a little bit, it'll show a little shaky thing and it won't let me film until I get it back to a level thing. So I'm so uncomfortable with the live one. Instagram doesn't care how your phone's set up, but this one, it's like touchy if my phone tilts just a little bit. So when I go to go in like this, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Sorry. I say bluish green. I see very bluish green. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more rouge to the nose. I don't want him to look too soft because he's a tough guy. But a little bit of color is good. And a little bit where that hook's gonna curl in, I want a little shadow there. And again, a little bit on the chin and the lower lip. It's gonna get it. It's gonna get it. Okay, now I have the white feather and his little arm. Jacket, coat, dealy. I like the words I make up for things. Jacket, coat, dealy. The burgundy I would do, but honestly, you barely see it from his coat, so I'm just leaving it with the marker. And then he has his little, I don't know what you would call this, scarf chest thing that comes out. And then he has a feather in his hat. That's kind of going to come down. And we won't see all of it, but I'm just going to show that it's kind of feathered. Okay, so we've got all that. We're going to add a couple highlights. This is so nice. I feel like I'm getting one-on-one time to soak. There you go. Thank you for considering watching live so you do feel that way. A little one-on-one time with you. Yeah, I'm like, I know it notifies people, but I don't know how many people are free to watch. And at this point, again, I just like to save the videos, and so many people get bummed it doesn't get saved when it's on Instagram. So I'm like, either you leave that platform and come over here, or you just watch it later. And a little bit on his teeth. And I'm going to do a little bit of white before I do the hook, the kind of goldish yellow color, because it's going to make it stand out more if you do a white underneath it. So instead of just going right to yellow, I'm creating that white background. Okay. And just doing a quick brush over it. And then, and again, I apologize if I'm in front of the camera. I have to do my line work, so I can't tell. I see the cameras right here, and that's the problem every time I lean in. So I'm trying to stay behind the camera while still holding it. Ugh, if I can open my pen. All right, so going back first with the lines I know are dry. This one's gonna dip down, comes here. Whoop. Closing up my lines. I've got that feather I just did, but I'm just going to create a little bit of shadow there. All right, and then we've got, let's see, the nose should be good to outline. The eye. And this end. Give him some more hairs. Okay. Not sure what that is. Okay, some of this is still damp. I'm just kind of pulling on it to make sure it dries. Go back to his hair. And shirt should be good now. My pen's starting to have a little bit of paint on it, and so all I do is I stop. I grab a piece of paper I don't care about, and I kind of draw it to make sure all that paint comes off so I don't ruin it, and then I switch pens. Okay, so that way I don't ruin the pen. I'm gonna start the little hook here. Again, coming back down, creating some little sleeve lines. Okay, and now I can just finish it up. Let's see, this should be dry. Make this look more like feathers. Okay, and now I'm going to do a little bit of my yellow ochre so that my gold will really stand out when I put it over it. So take my yellow ochre. Whoop. And I'm going quickly so that it dries really fast. I'm kind of doing a thin layer because the gold will cover the white, but it really is nice when I miss a spot and you see the gold peek or the yellow peek through. This is the same truth about the marker being underneath. If I miss a spot or go really quick, that marker is just allowing it to still have some color. So we got that, and then I'm going to take my gold deep and load some of that up. And this is going to finish this, and then I'll sign both of them before I ship them out. Now I'm just thinning this one out. The lighter you are on your brush, the thinner the line will be. This is a horrible brush. It's starting to split everywhere I go, so I'm going to have to toss this one. Let me get a different brush. And then I'll probably, off camera, when it's all dry, I'll go back over it with marker one more time. Marker. Ooh. I'm going to use my black to see if I can touch up a couple things. So again, reverse painting is always when you take that color you started with and then you go the other way. So I'm going to create more of a background for the hook in black. And a little bit more for the eyebrows. And, oh, I know one last thing I forgot. One teeny detail. Every detail matters. Every detail matters. A little pink for his gum line. There it is. All right, so there's a hook for a customer and the unicorn for another customer. And then lastly, let's just outline the unicorn since she dried. I forgot we didn't outline her. Whoop. Let's see, sorry, I'm like ignoring you. I'm so glad you love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Little bangs sweeping over across. Okay, I'm going to tilt my canvas so I can get the horn better. Okay. And then I'll probably add a little bit of glitter and a little bit more gold to this later when I'm off screen. Whoop. Glitter's a little tough to do with a tilted canvas to work on. So yeah, this is the difference. The sketch is gonna look more like a sketch when it's all done. Gonna be more line work in black, and then when it's something that I'm hand painting, then I make sure all of my lines are something that go with the painting, like purples and stuff. But everyone's been pretty happy with the sketches, so it doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother them. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching me paint both of these live, and I will be sure to paint again live. I think Thursday I'm going to do this again live, and it's going to be with two of my patrons who get the mystery box. They actually got to choose two characters, well, a character each for me to work on live like this, so that they get a little bit extra bonus in their mystery pack. So thanks so much again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, friends.